Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results in your neighborhood. Now it's 6:30.
This is News 6 at 6:30, getting results. Thank you for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
Glad you're with us tonight. I'm Matt Austin. A proposed housing development on Florida wetlands has people in the area concerned about wildlife and flooding, and this is the first time this issue has come up either.
But as developers move forward with their request to rezone the land, News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez is listening to people determined to push back.
What do you think is preventing you guys from seeing flooding issues right now?
Definitely the wetlands behind us in Shingle Creek. It's actually used to pump floodwaters into during major storms.
Deer Creek Village is an Orlando neighborhood right by Shingle Creek, a wetland that Kristen St. Jean believes protects homes in the area from water damage. She says right now they don't even need flood insurance, but she fears that might change.
Now this development wants to change that zoning from agricultural to planned unit development, and we as a community here are very concerned about that.
This is a March 2023 rendering of Toscana, an over 650,000 square feet proposed development that would be north of State Road 417 and south of Central Florida Parkway. It would bring over 5,200 multifamily dwelling units and over 1,600 hotel rooms to St. Jean's backyard.
How is our infrastructure going to support that from a traffic perspective, all kinds of other things, stormwater? I mean, it blows my mind that we could even support that over there.
I met with retired ecologist Gordon Spears. He explained the role the waterway plays in our city.
Shingle Creek is one of the main drainage creeks that drains the Orlando metropolitan area, draining it to the south towards the Kissimmee River. It also has large floodplains on either side of it that provide important floodwater attenuation services, as well as treatment of water to remove toxins.
While Spears, who served on the county's Planning and Zoning Commission, agrees development is needed to sustain growth, he believes the environmental impact and regulations should be top of mind.
It doesn't make sense to destroy our wetlands that are already providing valuable functions when there are other areas that are more appropriate for development.
News 6 reached out to the developers for comment, and we're still waiting to hear back. The proposal that relies on the area being rezoned will be in front of the Development Review Committee on Wednesday. In Orlando, Stephanie Rodriguez, getting results, News 6.
All right, meteorologist Jonathan Kegas is here now. If you lost your umbrella tonight, is a good time to maybe find it, or if it's a little dusty, just bring it out because those changes are happening tomorrow.
Yeah, hold on to it tomorrow. Too might blow away. You might lose it that way. The gusts are going to go crazy tomorrow afternoon. It's been breezy today. We talked about that last night. It's because of this strengthening storm system here. You see a lot of red on the map here. Tornado watch is part of this severe weather outbreak ongoing in parts of Louisiana into the Florida Panhandle. You see severe thunderstorm warnings in those orange boxes there. On the cold side of this system, you see how large it is, extending from the Canadian border down into the Gulf there. A lot of snow on the back end. There's blizzard warnings up there for wind gusts of pushing 40 or 50 miles an hour. Hurricane force wind gusts going to be possible on the backside of that system. 73 degrees for us in Mount Dora right now. We're at 71 in Oviedo, 72 degrees in Mico. That storm system is going to work its way in our area. It is going to weaken by the time it gets here. However, we could have a few strong thunderstorms in the mix as it pushes through as we get into the day tomorrow, especially into the afternoon. What will also stay cranked up is the breeze. Right now, at last check, we have wind gusts pushing 30 miles an hour. That's going to be the smaller number on your screen there. About a 30-mile-per-hour gust in Palm Coast, about a 20-mile-per-hour gust just reported in Ocala. And again, we're going to keep things breezy through the overnight, gusty again tomorrow. So if you're heading out tonight, you'll notice the clouds going to increase and that breeze stay cranked up. We're going to talk much more about the timeline of the rain and thunderstorms coming up at about 6:47, guys.
Jonathan, thank you. Well, back in 2023, legislators passed a law requiring a change in school start times. But now some of them already want to repeal it.
Yeah, today is the start of the legislative session for 2025. The law they are looking to repeal wants all middle schools to start after 8 in the morning and high schools after 8:30 in the morning. The goal was to give kids more sleep and increased safety riding the bus early in the morning.
Now, that law was supposed to go into effect next year, but now there's a bill to repeal it. Parents, we spoke with, they have some mixed reactions, but they agree there should be some options out there.
Agree. It would just be by school, and then if you have a problem with that, then look into other options, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be looking at charter schools, homeschools, co-ops, public school potentially.
The legislature will have the next 60 days to sort it out during the session.
A Volusia County woman is getting results and trying to protect animals from getting into the wrong hands. Bills filed in the Senate and House would create a database listing anyone who has been charged with animal abuse in the entire state.
So that way people adopting out animals can run a quicker and better background check. News 6's Molly Reed breaks down how it would work and the push behind it.
Say you work for the Halifax Humane Society or another pet rescue organization and someone comes in and wants to adopt an animal. Of course, you want to make sure that animal is going home with someone who doesn't have a history of animal abuse, and this database would make that a pretty quick search. Now, Volusia County already has a database that runs like this. It's the only county in the state that has one, but these bills, if passed, would make it go statewide.
Right here, you'll see animal abuse database.
Debbie Dorino created Volusia system back in 2019.
Now, the first month that ours was up here in the county, 2 different people went to our local shelter, Halifax Humane Society, and they were both in the database.
Why did you guys originally want to expand this statewide?
Well, there's a lot of animal abuse right now going on, and a lot of animals that people keep getting after they've been charged with animal cruelty.
If this bill passes, the statewide system would be added to the FDLE's website. Anyone convicted, those who have pleaded guilty or no contest, regardless of adjudication, would be automatically added to the database.
Every day, any animal abuse case that happens or people are charged with, it goes into the database here in the county.
Now, the database bill would actually be an addition to Ponce's Law, which Dorino created and passed back in 2018. It was named after a puppy brutally killed by his owner in Ponce Inlet. Ponce's Law increases the penalties for animal cruelty and allows judges to ban convicted animal abusers from owning another pet.
You could drive from any part of Florida and try to adopt, and we're going to be able to identify that that person has abused or harmed an animal.
Sean Hawkins is the CEO of Halifax Humane.
We want to do everything we can to place homeless animals like Loki into new homes, but we're also not going to place an animal into an unsafe environment.
In Volusia County, I'm Molly Reed, getting results, News 6.
Got to look out after them because they can't take care of themselves.
How have we not had this before with all of our technology?
It just makes common sense. Time now to take a look at what's trending nationwide right now. A couple faces charges of battery and trespassing. The 2 are accused of throwing coffee at airline staff at Miami International Airport. Now, this is video of one of them being put in a police car. Police say the couple could not board their American Airlines flight to Mexico because they were late. But the couple ignored commands from the ticketing agent. Their arrest report clarifies the 2 pushed some staff members, and one of them threw coffee. First of all, why would you? You already know. I mean, these people are there to protect you, and they get on the flight with you, and that's the way you're going to treat them. So you're better off.
I just don't
not
understand.
On that flight.
I get flying can be stressful, but sometimes you'll be in line with someone.
Yeah.
You can tell they're just losing their
feel
mind.
I know.
Because it's that stressful of an experience, but.
And you're getting on that same flight with them.
I know. And now I'm stressed because I just feel it off. It's like a magnetism. All right, Ginger, would you get into a driverless Uber?
I mean, I've been in a car with you, so I've.
Okay. That's where you want to take the streaming show right now, Ginger? Because I've been in a car with you as well.
Look at us, we live to tell.
You can test how brave you really are in Austin, Texas. The first time there, you can now call a ride without a driver. There's no added cost. I would hope there wouldn't be added cost if you don't have a driver.
They want you to tip.
Yeah, right. If you do not want to go driverless, you can request a different car. Uber plans to expand the driverless rides in other cities. They will launch in Atlanta later this year. So they're using, it looks like they have the LiDAR on top, not like the Teslas with the cameras and that sort of thing.
I think it would just take some getting used to because you're sitting in the back and there's no one up front. You just kind of get used to it.
I'll tell you, my car supposedly can drive itself. I don't trust that thing to get me out of the parking lot.
Please don't. Thank you.
No way.
Well, 1,128 miles. It's the official distance of what will be the longest Iditarod race ever. 33 sled dog teams are now racing across the frozen Alaska frontier. The distance is the same as traveling from Orlando to Cleveland, by the way. And did we mention the sub-freezing temps while they're doing it? I always find that so fascinating.
It is a wild race.
It
yes.
Really, but those are athletes. The dogs are so well trained and just focused on their job.
And have you ever seen them waiting to go to get
Oh
out?
my gosh, let them, yeah.
They're like somebody
They
at the
know.
airport, like, you know. All right, here's what's trending right now on Central Florida's #1 news website. Man, it's good. ClickOrlando.com. You should go there. Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore are just a few weeks away from returning to Earth after 9 months in space. Look at what happened to her hair in the last 9 months. It's just going straight up. What was originally supposed to be a quick trip to the International Space Station in June has left the two stranded after issues with Boeing's Starliner. And now, in an embarrassing twist, SpaceX comes in and saves the day for Boeing.
It's not embarrassing. It's been a long time coming, but they will have to wait until their replacements arrive next week before they can check out later this month. ClickOrlando.com shares their frustrations with being away from family and missing some pretty important holidays and occasions for all these months.
You don't think that's embarrassing?
Listen, as long as they get back safely, no.
Imagine if we missed a story so bad and Channel 2 had to come in and fix it. You know, that would be, really embarrassing.
I don't even know where you're going with this.
All right, here are some other trending stories right now over at ClickOrlando.com. SpaceX wants to launch its massive Starship rocket from Florida in 2025. It's one part of the company's big plans to expand their operations at Kennedy Space Center. Those plans are detailed at ClickOrlando.com.
Now I'm embarrassed. So,
you would be embarrassed.
Wekiva Springs State Park is beautiful, right? So beautiful, the park will soon require day-use reservations. It's very popular. It will be the first in Florida to use a reservation program, the time frame for the change, and what it means for annual pass holders. All that information at ClickOrlando.com.
I love Wekiva Springs. If you have not been there, you have to go. It's just too
See, that's the problem. You're telling everybody to go.
You're just going to be, we have 18 minutes left in this show, and I'm counting it down. A college basketball coach laid off as a part of federal cuts, but he has some unfinished business with his team.
Yeah, coming up. They play for Indian country and for each other, led by a coach determined to bring them a national title.
And new studies find some synthetic hair products contain ingredients that cause cancer. News 6's Crystal Moyer has 3 ways you can reduce your risks. You're watching News 6 at 6:30. We're live on News 6 Plus, getting results in Bithlo, Tavares, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Your Tuesday evening traffic alert, you're going to see that construction east and westbound along I-4, especially out by Central Florida Parkway. The difference is Central Florida Parkway will be shut down overnight underneath that overpass of I-4. So please make sure you're just really cautious within that area. We'll also see some issues along 429 with them lane closures, but no complete shutdown. But an active construction zone means you need to put your phone down. Who else is active? 417, meaning make sure you're taking it nice and easy and watch out for your speed. I'm Trooper Steve with your News 6 traffic alert. Drive safely. I'll catch you in the morning.
It's used to create fashionable and protective hairstyles, mostly for black men and women. I'm talking about synthetic braiding hair. But recent testing by Consumer Reports found the hair contains some potentially dangerous chemicals. I'm News 6 anchor and insider guide Crystal Moyer, and we're breaking down the findings and explaining how you could stay safe. For many people, braided hairstyles are more than just fashion. They're a time-tested tradition that makes hair care easier.
I like to wear braids because it saves me time in the morning. They're convenient. You can just style it and just go.
Now, a new investigation by Consumer Reports is raising alarming questions about the safety of synthetic braiding hair. 10 popular synthetic braiding hair products were tested. The results are troubling. Every sample contained carcinogens, chemicals that may cause cancer.
3 of the samples tested positive for benzene, a carcinogen that is highly regulated and discouraged for use in laboratories because of the potential to cause cancer.
James Rogers, who led CR synthetic hair testing, says lead was found in 90% of the products.
There is no safe levels of lead. Our risk assessments and exposure models indicate that for users of these 9 products, they could be exposed to concerning levels of lead over time.
The risks don't stop there. When the hair is dipped in hot water during installation, as standard practice, it releases volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, that can irritate eyes, throat, and lungs. If you use synthetic braids or if you install them, experts recommend the following safety precautions to reduce risks. Check for product recalls, read labels carefully, and limit how long you wear the style. Consumer Reports reached out to the companies who sell the synthetic hair that was tested. I posted their responses on clickorlando.com/insider. In the studio, Crystal Moyer, Getting Results, News 6.
Let's take you to one of my favorite places. Look at this. This is beautiful Mount Dora. Not a whole lot of people out at this hour. But tomorrow, we probably will see people, if they're out and about, walking with their umbrellas, perhaps. There are some people crossing the crosswalk right now.
This is true. If you're headed to the Goblin Market.
One of my favorite places. Yeah,
over
really good.
in Mount Dora.
So good.
Jonathan Kagas, so what times are we looking at to get complicated tomorrow?
I think early in the afternoon, the first half of the day. So really around lunchtime, maybe through that 3 to 4 o'clock hour.
So if I'm going to seal my driveway tomorrow, say,
that is what I'm doing tomorrow. And I need it to not rain until after like 1 o'clock.
So whenever you get home from work would be a good time to
Tonight.
do that. Yeah, because here's the deal.
Great.
I think 5 o'clock and on, that's whenever we're going to dry out. Northwest of I-4, we'll still be hanging on to a few downpours and a few thunderstorms south and east, closer to Palm Bay, Melbourne, into Miko, Yeehaw Junction. As a result of this thing here, I want to show you the water vapor imagery. It really tells the story. I showed you this last night when this thing was just getting going out towards the Four Corners region to the desert southwest. Now it's this behemoth counterclockwise flow. You see all the moisture coming up from the Gulf, all the green representing all the higher moisture content in the cloud tops. That's where the severe weather is currently ongoing. The back end of this towards Omaha, just south of the Twin Cities into Des Moines, blizzard warnings ongoing as a lot of heavy snow. Very, very strong winds ongoing up in the upper Midwest and northern plains. For us, we're watching this line of thunderstorms at 7 to 8 o'clock, closing in on the Panhandle. When you wake up tomorrow, Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos likely going to be pinpointing a few strong thunderstorms into the Panhandle through the Big Bend region. By the time we get towards the latter stages of the morning, 11 o'clock to lunchtime, we'll start to see that really begin to work its way into Marion County, into Flagler County, a chance for a few strong thunderstorms embedded in that. Then as we move into the early afternoon, here we go, 2 to 3 o'clock, scattered downpours and thunderstorms in the mix. Again, a few of these could be on the stronger side. Hail and damaging wind gusts are going to be the biggest threats with this line of thunderstorms. as it slides on through. That's 8 o'clock, and this is what I was talking about. So you're good to go to seal your driveway in Ocala at this point, into Bushnell and to Lake Panasoffkee, but we're still hanging on to a few thunderstorms south and east of I-4. Main threats tomorrow: lightning, wind and hail, a little elevated as well. The flood threat is pretty much non-existent tomorrow because we have these fast-moving storms sliding through. Tornado threat, it's very low. It's not zero, though. We're going to be watching that closely as that line comes through. A little bit of shifting winds as they get towards closer to the coast. Here's a live look outside in Port Canaveral with our Launch Credit Union camera tonight. Temperatures back to the low 70s under a mainly clear sky. We're hanging around 70 in DeLand as well, 72 in Claremont, Winter Haven. We are checking in into the mid 70s. Now here's a look at your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by the Florida Lottery.
Warm night tonight. It's going to be a warm and windy start tomorrow. A few stray showers in the mix. Temperatures get started off into the upper 60s in Mount Dora. We're at 68 in Melbourne with a few passing clouds. But again, it's going to be the afternoon that we're watching for with temperatures back to the upper 70s and lower 80s. It will be very windy. And again, watching for the chance for a few strong thunderstorms sliding through into the early afternoon. We were talking about this yesterday. Again, it's going to be gusty tomorrow. Wind gusts 30 to 35 miles an hour tomorrow, backing off a little bit as we get into the weekend. Still breezy on Saturday, though. Again, Arnold Palmer tournament in town, and we're talking about it staying gusty through the second half of the weekend as well. If you're heading in that direction, again, keep an eye to the sky. Watch for the lightning as the Pro-Am is tomorrow. We're back to the low 80s again. Much colder behind this system. We're into the upper 60s for highs on Thursday. I think most of us wake up in the 40s, guys.
Oof.
This is a short-lived little round of cold. You see it now. We're in March. Those days of the longevity of the chill, it's over. We're already back to the upper 70s by Friday, 80s by Saturday, guys.
Has to get that one last smack in
One
there.
last time.
All right, thank you, Jonathan. Well, we are hitting the road in Oviedo. If you live or work in the community, let us know what makes it so special, or if you have any concerns you want us to look into. Head to clickorlando.com/hitstheroad to share your story. We'll be right back.
Coming up in the morning, cracking down on rowdy spring break crowds.
How the Coast Guard is taking action all up and down the Florida coast, even before thousands of students head to the shore.
And your pinpoint weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you for News 6 Mornings, 5 to 7.
Federal government layoffs have affected just about every corner of the U.S., from national parks to the IRS. But included in the thousands of workers looking for a new job now is a college basketball coach in Kansas.
The university he works for laid off a quarter of its staff, including him, but ultimately he decided his place is still with his team. Neil Jones follows the journey that now has Haskell women's basketball headed to a national championship.
I'll say a few words, and I want you to think.
13 days ago, Coach Adam Strom was one of thousands who was fired by the federal government, but he refused to leave his team. And today, he leads his Haskell women's basketball squad into their conference championship game.
Who do we play for?
Indian country.
Who do we play for?
Indian country.
Who do we play for?
Indian country.
The players and their parents are thankful that the coach did not abandon his team.
It means a lot to the Twins. I know they were really upset hearing the news. It's just a great feeling that, you know, he wants to finish with the team.
But staying on the job is one thing. Beating top-seeded Northern New Mexico for a spot in the national tournament is something else. Haskell takes an early lead off the hot shooting of senior guard Mypia Irving, number 10, one of only 2 Kansans on the squad. But Northern New Mexico shows their ability in building a 17-10 lead after 1 quarter. But like their coach, this Haskell team doesn't quit. Junior Tirza Penn drives for the bucket. Then she splashes home a huge 3-pointer as the Fighting Indians tie the contest at 41. And they're not done, as the shyest person on the team, sophomore Tia Murray, comes up big down low, capping a 13-0 Haskell run, and this big crowd can celebrate a 50-44 lead. It comes down to the final seconds, but Coach Strom's ladies answer every challenge as they shock the top seed 57-52. The coach turns a pink slip from the government into a ticket to the national tournament.
I haven't found myself since unfortunate circumstance, but I knew where I wanted to be, and this is exactly where I wanted to be, and not for me, not for Coach Strom, but for those ladies right there.
During this whole season, we faced adversity. We just kept getting better and better, and we were at our best at this game.
It's good. It feels good. You can't believe it.
It means a lot. Our season is not over yet, so we're going to keep going.
Nice job, ladies. What a cool coach, too. Yeah. Of course, you have to cut down the nets, the celebration to remember before Haskell competes for the 2025 NAIA Women's Basketball National Championship. A lot of people will be rooting for them.
Oh, congratulations to them, too.
Yeah.
And that coach, that's pretty amazing. They, you know, he stood with them and they went all the way.
Do what you love. Man, you never work a day in your life,
Love
I guess.
it. All right. Thank you so much for watching News 6 at 6:30. This is definitely not work. Stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
I feel the same way, Ginger. Remember, we break news at clickorlando.com. We'll see you tonight at 11. Have a good night.
Jonathan?